And welcome to the post-match reaction of West Ham's trip away to West Brom, where it finished 0-0. To be honest, the game was just exactly as I was saying in the team sheet video. I did say it could be a boring 0-0. To be honest, a lot of the game, especially the first half, there was just absolutely nothing in it. I mean, there was events which I'll go into. The second half was much better, but still not brilliant. So, start off pretty much right from the kickoff. Carroll decides to overlap Creswell with West Brom breaking down their right wing, and concedes a corner as a result of it. Don't really know what his thinking was there. Corner comes to nothing. 3 minutes into the game, we get a corner, but Cresswell overhits it. It's just all over the place. 6 minutes in, Carroll is taken down on goal, but there was no foul. Be interesting to see the highlights tonight if they're on last of match of the day, because everyone else pretty much has got goals either for or against. Not sure if it was a foul or anything, so I can't comment. It didn't. It looked like you could have called it. You could have said that was a penalty, but I don't know. I can't say. Watching it on the telly, it's just no idea. A minute later, we had another corner which was cleared, and by West Brom, and Zabaleta is booked for a late challenge. It's the first foul of the game. As far as the ref's concerned, and he books him straight away. So in a way, kind of sets the tempo that I'm not the ref is like, I'm not taking any shit from you guys. Just behave. Surprising though. Anyway, 10 minutes in, 2 blocks from Reed in the space of a few seconds. Literally blocks one down the floor, gets up, runs and blocks from another. Really good, which leads to a corner. Which was worrying because it was a really good corner that West Brom took, but fortunately it hit the top of the net. So 5 minutes after that, 15 minutes in on the clock, free kicks from Kieran, conceded by Kieran Gibbs on Antonio, but a wasted ball from Creswell. 22 minutes in, Kovacic, I think you pronounce it, or Kvoniak, wherever it was, makes a foul. Yeah, there was no booking, even though it's exceptionally similar to what Zabaleta was booked for. So again, the ref starting to buckle a little bit. 26 minutes in, first shot on the goal, and this is from Antonio. Was being an absolute beast, absolutely superb performance from him up in the build up to this. It's basically running at goal, getting West Brom players trying to knock him out, but other way around, he knocks Kvoniak, or Koroniak, however you pronounce him, and shoots, but it's straight at Foster. But it's a shot on target, and given how the first 25 minutes was, I'm happy with that. To be fair, I'm happy with that. 28 minutes in, could have been a wonder goal if this had gone in. Obiang, 45 yards out from goal, smacks it, catches, sees that Ben Foster is off his line, but unfortunately it hits the top of the net. If he was a couple of feet backwards, that could have been further back. It might have gone in, and it's 1-0. But it didn't happen. Yep, Carroll. 2 minutes later, so on the 30th minute, Carroll attempts at goal, but it was a good ball in, but he's got 2 players that he's fighting, so he's off target. He's off target. That happens again a little bit later as well. But in slightly different circumstances. Carroll chests the ball down. It bounces a couple of yards off, too far in front of him. Tony Gale said it was a poor touch. I don't remember him being able to control that sort of ball, but yeah, it was off target, but it was a difficult one for him, to be fair. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. 36 minutes in, Corner kick from Creswell, much better balls from Creswell into the game for the first half. And Carroll heads it wide. And again, as I say, because he's got two players either side of him, so difficult one on that. And then 38 minutes in, Obiang down just before Phillips skews wide. Now, the worrying thing was that both Obiang and Ginger Collins, both were struggling in the first half. Really were struggling in the first half. Ginge with his ankle, which I will go into later, and Obiang with his hamstring. Between the 38th minute and the 47th, because there was 2 minutes of added extra time, there wasn't much really to say, to be honest. Really, it was a typical West Brom performance, waiting for the counter attack, but no end quality. And likewise, West Ham were doing exactly the same, trying to counter attack, but there was just missed passes and lost balls and everything. So so apparently the referees, excuse me, or the linesman or somebody has said to Kouati at half time, spray your cast. Now this is stupid, because the cast colour was white for the first half, and then coming back on for the second half, and you notice that Kouati's cast is claret. I can't see the thinking behind it. It's not like any of the West Brom players are going to be able to think, oh, he's one of our players, he's got white on his wrist. I don't get it, but it's just the times we live in now, people. Gone are the days where Billy Bond's running around with his arm and a sling. Can't do that anymore. Okay, so into the start of the second half, literally within the 46th minute. So the first minute of the second half. We get a corner straight away, so it's good to see that we were on the attack once again. Again, much better ball in from Creswell on the left-hand corner. Right-hand side, I should say. Sorry, right-hand side. Left from West Brom's point of view, right from ours. And Fonte jumps up and tries to do a Reed classic, but fails miserably. He goes wide. A good attempt for him. He hasn't actually scored anything for a game yet, but he's only been there with the club since January, and he's a centre back, so he might get his time. He might get his chance, but at least he's trying for it. That's the good thing. I mean, everybody's been on Fonte's back, especially towards the end of last season, the beginning of January, I should say, until about March, April time, because everyone's saying he wasn't trying, blah 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 blah. So at least he's trying, appearing like he's trying to pick his game up, albeit 4 games too late. 51st minute on the clock. Great cross from Creswell, but again leads to a counter attack from West Brom, which inevitably breaks down to their poor passing. 53 minutes in, Carroll makes a foul on defending a foot corner, I think it is, but then he gives a free kick in the box. 57 minutes in, unfortunately, Ginge, bless him, was running for the ball. His ankle went, and he rolls. He lies down, holds the ball, and of course the West Brom fans, being the classy, respectful fans that they are, shout handball. And when Creswell eventually gets up, he limps off on literally having 2 physios holding him. And the West Brom fans boo him, which I think is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. And believe me, Ginge made his thoughts on that very, very clear to the people that were in that part of the stadium. But yeah, I'm worried about that, which means we've got Fonte, Reed, and Ogbonna potentially. There's just 3 centre backs now. However, what happened was Arne Arnautovic came on, and Zabaleta slipped into the back 3, which brought Antonio down from the winger down to wing back, didn't really change the formation. As I said, I was hoping that. As I said in the team sheet video, I was hoping that it would be a 3-4-1-2, but it wasn't. It was a 3-4-3, which meant Chicharito was out on the wing again, and he's just not comfortable there. He really isn't comfortable there. What I personally would have done was put Arnautovic on the wing and then change the formation slightly. So you've got you've got Carroll and I'm getting a bit of a cold, guys. Carroll and Hernandez up front, but it would have been too much of a headache for that to happen. Where are we? Yes, right. 63 minutes in, Arnautovic gets an unintended foul on him. I think it was Higazi, or one of the West Brom players, clears the ball, but he clips the back of Arnautovic's ankle stroke calf muscle. And he goes rolling around on the floor. Now that's unacceptable for West Ham fans. I don't like to see, nobody likes to see anyone rolling about for an injury. He did it a few times in the game. Third time he had an injury, but got straight back up because he knew it was it was a 50-50 clean challenge. But as I say, we don't want to see this. Now, what happened 2 minutes later has really got my back up. Really got my back up on this, and this referee, whatever this little pillock's name was, got this completely wrong. I guarantee on Match of the Day tonight they'll say yes, he was absolutely right to book Foster. But what basically happened is Hernandez is running for the ball. Foster comes out, goes to the ground, slides out. His left foot, I think, is high. Catches Hernandez, doesn't get the ball in any shape or form, and it's just a booking. Now, I agree with the commentators that, for example, because Winston Reid noticed it, ran straight up to the ref and was showing that he kicked him, blah 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 blah. Don't do that. I don't like to see that under any circumstances, especially not from Winston Reid. Now, if any other player had done that, that would have been deemed a red card. But for some reason, the ref has taken it on his own back just to book him and give a free kick. Now, I'm sorry, but if anybody else had done that, if Joe Hart had done the same thing, or any of our defenders had done the same thing, or the West Brom defender had done the same thing, regardless of Chicharito not being able to control the ball or not, that would have been a red card, because his studs are up, his foot's high is off the ground, the right foot's not exactly trailing along the grass either, even though it is level with it, it's not high up. So his feet are basically like that. It's a sending off. I'm sorry, but it's a sending off. I love Foster. He's a good goalkeeper. But it was a rash decision, and I don't see how it's one rule for one and one for another, regardless of it being a goal scoring opportunity or not. It's a bad challenge. It's a really bad challenge. But he always got free. Not much really happened after that. Really, after like 8 minutes, there's a few back and forth, breaking down, counter attacks, breaking down, interceptions, breaking down, and then Obiang is a little bit closer than he was last time on this 73rd minute, and he tries to go for goal again, but he leans back and whacks it, and I do mean whack because it goes absolutely skyward, which is a shame but. He's still learning his trade. I know he's been in there for the last 3-4 seasons now, but he's still learning. He's a great midfielder. I love him to bits, and I don't want anyone to see anybody criticising Obiang for that. And then on the 75th minute, exactly as it was on Monday night, albeit a few minutes later than Monday night, Hernandez comes off and Ayew comes on. Hernandez doesn't look all that happy about it. And likewise, neither did his striking pal Carroll when he was substituted off 5 minutes later. In fact, he's shaking his head. Again, I can understand it because Carroll's not fit enough yet to do a full 90 minutes. You know, let's be honest, he's not. You can argue, and quite rightly, with a lot of evidence behind it, argue that he's never ready for that. But Carroll needs to be a bit more professional about that. You know, at the end of the day, he knows it's his second game back from injury. He doesn't want to be risked. He was having a good game, Carroll, so I can understand that he's upset about not coming off, but he's got to respect the situation. Carroll is well known, not only just for his injury record, but he's also very well known for wanting to take all the risks, as he always does. You know, but fair play to him. That's why we love him. Well, most of us love him anyway. And but yeah, so he's taken off. And once again, Sacco comes on to a chorus of boos. Not as much as Monday night, but as you can obviously appreciate, there's only a few thousand fans there rather than the 55,000 fans were there Monday. But it's not right. You don't boo your players. I don't. I scream shit at them. I yell at them for something chronic, but I don't boo. The only time I've ever booed at a great game, as you've probably seen in my other previous videos, was at referees at half time. But that's it. As I say, there's not, as I know, you know, it's been the 16 coming up to 17 minutes on the clock now, and I did say there wasn't much to report. I mean, there really wasn't over it. 16 minutes to sum up a 90-minute game. You know, it's West Brom away. It's 0-0. 4 points from 2 games. Is it enough to keep Carroll? Is it enough to keep Superslav in his job? I really hope so. We'll see over the coming weeks what happens, because obviously we've got Bolton. And then we've got Spurs at home, the next home game, well, next league game, I should say. So as it stands at the moment, I shall go in. I'll obviously be doing my video roundup, league roundup video, I should say, either Monday night or Tuesday, probably Monday night, or if not Wednesday. As it stands at the moment, we're still 18th on goal difference with Everton. So, yeah, not bad. It's not bad. You know, as I say, with 5 games in the season now, and obviously Everton don't play until tomorrow, I think. So, but you know, I'm happy. You know, at least we've got a point. At least we've got points, and we haven't lost. It's 2 clean sheets in 2 games, 2 points from per game in the last 2. So it's too early to say anything, guys. It really, really is. Anyway, this is my video. If you like it, please subscribe and click the like button, because obviously there will be more coming up. I'm going to try and do a video on Tuesday night as well for the League Cup game. Even though I said I wouldn't, depends on I might do, I might not. If I don't, doesn't matter. As I say, because the priority, as far as I'm concerned, is the league games. So, yeah, thanks for watching, people, and I will see you again soon. Take care.